Hi, I'm DJ Greg, founding pastor of Citywell. Thank you so much for joining us today. I served for over a decade in youth ministry, and during that time, I always had a student, or a lot of times, a couple of those students, the ones that all night long did everything they possibly could to get as much attention on themselves as possible. And they were a lot of fun to have around and in the group. But I would often look at those students at the end of the night, or that one, and go, "Hey Johnny, do you mind just praying us out for tonight?" Instantly, complexion is gone from their face. They melt into their chair, like trying to make it so they didn't even exist. They go from elbowing their friend to trying not to look like they existed, because the idea of praying in front of someone terrified them. They were afraid that they were gonna pray wrong. Like that even exists. And I personally love helping people learn how to develop a life of prayer. Usually within a few weeks, if I would work with this student, I could see them get to the end of the night and I go, "Hey Johnny, will you pray?" And they absolutely, and they had no problems praying out loud in front of people because they had learned the confidence and how to pray. Now let's talk about you. Where are you at in your personal prayer life? Is it an area that you're strong, or is it an area that you feel like you could grow in? Maybe during this season you should come to God and say something that Jesus' disciples did. "Lord, teach me to pray." Now, we see in the book of Luke, in Luke 11, Jesus had just finished this time where he went and he was praying, and his disciples after it come to him and they say, "Lord, teach us to pray." And what comes next is a prayer that you probably go, "Ooh, that sounds pretty familiar." You may have heard something similar to it many times. Jesus said, "Father, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we ourselves forgive everyone who's indebted to us, and lead us not into temptation." Actually, Jesus another time was teaching his disciples and a whole bunch of other people, and he prayed a prayer very similar to that. And it's found in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 12. Jesus actually starts out that time teaching people to pray, saying, "Pray like this. Pray like this." And after that, Jesus gave what we call the Lord's Prayer. Maybe you've prayed it or memorized it when you were a kid in church. And what I want you to get today, what I want you to walk away understanding, is the Lord's Prayer, I don't believe is a specific words you're supposed to pray when you come to God. I believe that Jesus gave us the Lord's Prayer as a model to help us learn how to pray, help us learn how to talk to God. And as we slow down and take it verse by verse, what you'll discover is there's a ton of power in learning how to talk to God through the Lord's Prayer instead of just saying those specific words. Now, this isn't the only model or way we can pray. We can definitely pray in other ways. But if you're saying, "I don't know how to pray, I don't know where to get started," the Lord's Prayer may be the very thing you need to help you be able to focus in and be able to talk to God and feel like that time was productive. Now, I challenge you today to go and spend some time. Read Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 to 13. It's called the Lord's Prayer. And see what you can learn on your own about how to pray.